Yes, I am a Final Fantasy VI fanboy. Do not deny it.
Better than
Kefka's,
7.
Kefka is better than Sephiroth. But that's actually the Stormblood remake. How you gentlemen doing?
I'm alright, and also Kuja is better because he didn't destroy. He didn't just decimate a planet.
So
Kuja
so the
destroyed.
so the Kefka, and he
No,
ruled
Kef.
and he ruled it for an entire year. I think there are like one or two Final Fantasy villains I think succeeded even more, but Kefka's the most memorable.
Kefka was an amazing hero.
Pretty much. So how you gentlemen doing?
Oh, just got out of work.
Oh, I'm here for now. Just had a really, really interesting week.
Well, for anyone listening to the recording or somehow stumbles across the live stream, yes, we are doing this a day early because of scheduling issues. Unfortunately, Will be a little late, and John, due to sickness, will not be joining us. Or else I'd be probably talking about his new show, the the Cactus and Blaze Hour, or whatever they call it.
That's
Can
a
I just?
wonderful.
Huh?
That's a wonderful show. It already had more views than every other episode we had.
Eh.
Well,
We'll see about that.
We'll see.
Now here's the thing I gotta ask: how much was John trying to bitch at me?
Have you watched the episode?
Not yet.
Something you
Been
might
too-
want to do.
Oh geez, how bad is it?
Medium size.
Let me guess. Half the show is about him bashing me.
Actually, I said medium. That's like 1/4.
All we did was talk about freaking Great Balls of Fire. Gave our predictions.
Sure you did. Anyway, so we have a nice jam-packed news segment. Where you want to start?
Good question. Shit.
I guess we
Where
might
do
as
we
well
start with?
might as well start with the topic I'm surprised you two guys didn't talk about on the show since it was breaking news at the time. Austin Aries no longer part of WWE.
Which was out of the blue. I mean, I looked it up and I'm like, wait a minute, wait, is this a joke? Then I looked at it's actually an official WWE like press release, and I'm like, the fuck?
Well, from what I hear, he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
That's what I found out too. I did some research on what people were saying, and I'm like, ugh.
Supposedly
that
pissed
Hell-
off.
Going around, he asked for his release because he didn't have time with all the injuries and stuff like that. That was the first thing that was going about. Then all of a sudden, I seen that, well, he had a pissy attitude. He kept complaining that he was stuck on 205 Live.
Well, let's be honest, that is kind of true that he was stuck there.
Well, yeah, but he was stuck there, but he was also still, the main focus of that show.
Yeah, he was like the main rival to Neville. Now they have no one for him to go against. But
What's
yeah,
this?
of course. What happened?
Oh, Triple H just posted something. Trying to welcome Bobby Fish to NXT.
Oh yeah.
Buddy!
And apparently Lou's having a war with his cat. Guess we should. Does anyone want to bring up Del Rio now?
Let's just get it over with because we know we're going to be in here for a long time with Great Balls of Fire.
Well, it's not much new. Well, actually, that's a big news, actually. But let's see if we could do this in some level of chronological order. Del Rio sent out a tweet, essentially challenging the New Day, Triple H, and the Usos to a fight at his bar after SmackDown. Whatever.
Well, he couldn't be here because he was in the pokey for slapping Paige around.
Yeah, I was about to get to that. Yep, Del Rio got arrested for supposed domestic abuse, and because of said arrest, GFW has suspended him indefinitely.
Which basically means that he'll be back when they decide to finally get him back on the roster.
You mean that probably means that Bobby Lashley will be regaining the GFW championship?
More than likely.
Because they can't have their own version of Brock Lesnar.
But right now, it's just one of those things that I read the whole thing, and I'm just going, fuck! Why did it have to happen now?
Say again?
That guy's a fucking scumbag. He's a piece of shit.
And of course, you've all read his Instagram post about talking about the New Day, the Usos, Triple H.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
No, but it's like that post is always now he's basically saying, "Come by next week. I'll have," and of course when you lose, I'll buy you drinks. And I'm like,
yeah, we just talked about that too. But yeah, you have a younger sister, Lou. If you were Paige's brother, how long will it take?
Let me tell you something. I would not be writing Twitter posts about it. I would be getting bailed out of prison.
Well, of course, this was before.
No, I meant no. Let me catch you back up, Reed. We're talking. Paige has older brothers who.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I was just saying, Lou
also
has a younger sister. So I was saying, if that was your younger sister in that situation, and Lou just said, "Well, we've been keeping doing this episode from inside the prison right now."
Yeah, and
would anyone blame him?
And you know what's sad? This guy's sitting there. He's challenging guys who are contracted, where these guys were told by the WWE, do not acknowledge him. Do not give him a response. Do not acknowledge him.
Do not pass go.
Because the WWE, I think the WWE sees the bonfire taking place, and slowly and surely, so is Jeff Jarrett. Because remember, I think in one particular house show, when he was about to go off on another WWE tangent, they blasted his music and then cut his mic. And another show, if I remember, Jeff Jarrett came out as soon as the match ended, pretty much saying, "Nope, not this time."
Like, dude, we're trying to be more professional than this. It almost makes me think.
Del Rio's a fucking cokehead piece of shit.
And now his brother and his father is pretty much part of that company too. So what do you think? Huh?
Have friends in high places in GFW, and I'll tell you now, one of the main reasons he was suspended was because the boys were some of the European boys wanted to teach him a fucking lesson in respect for what he's doing to that poor fucking girl. He got suspended for his own safety.
Damn. I would have let him go. I'm like, no, let's just turn off the cameras in the locker room, have a meeting at the other side of the building, and whatever happens, happens. No witnesses, no cops, no guns, no knives.
Shit. That's what he is.
That's what I've done if I was Jeff Jarrett, but I'm not Jeff Jarrett, but you know me.
Yeah,
I would have done the company of GFW does not want you to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But if you ask me, you're open to do whatever the fuck you want.
Like, as a company, we do not support abuse, the assault of our talent, or injuring others for any reason. We'll let the law handle it. As Jeff Jarrett, I have nothing to say. We are going to have me, Bruce, Dutch, and some of the others are going to have a meeting at the other side of the building to discuss Alberto's fate. You could do whatever you need to do. Just remember, don't take advantage of the fact that the cameras just happen to be off today and will be off for the next hour. I'm just putting that out there. And then walk away.
Hold on.
The hell was that? Think Del Rio's getting too big for his britches?
He needs to get his ass whipped.
Let him get into a fight with Big E. Or better yet, put Let him get into a fight with Brock Lesnar. See how big and bad he talks then. Any other news we could talk about? You want to go into break balls? What?
Well, you want to do great balls before we talk about the awesome promos and shit that was on Raw?
Oh, yeah, of course. Because we have to actually go through the pay-per-view first.
Yeah.
So, let me remember. There was a dark match. Tozawa lost to Neville. What else is new?
Who didn't see that coming?
I think everybody and their mother didn't see that coming. What I did see coming was Bray Wyatt defeated Seth Rollins.
Yeah, really. I don't think anyone picked Bray.
Because everybody's like, oh, okay, well, Seth is set to probably eventually face Brock, so Bray's gonna lose. But no, thumb to the eye, Sister Abigail, Bray wins.
Pleasantly surprised by that one. And it was a really good match,
Yeah,
too.
really. I was like, oh, I'm pleasantly surprised to see this. Well, I'm also not pleasantly surprised, is that WWE did exactly what I wanted them to do with the Big Cass versus Enzo fight, which is Cass beat Enzo's ass almost all the way through the match. Enzo cut the promo of his life in that ring, don't get me wrong, so he has a ways to go. But Cass just walked in, Enzo got his little flea bit shot, saying, well, it was a one-sided ass kicking from bell to bell.
Yeah. Cass went out there and did what he had to do. It's like I said on the fucking show. Mine and John's Awesome or Better show.
Oh boy. But yeah, Cass didn't even use his finisher. He just finished him off with the big boot, and that's it. What else? Well, huh?
Cass generic heel music 6.
Say again?
They gave Cass generic heel music 6.
Everybody's waiting like, okay, what is this new music they're gonna give Cass? Oh, did they just remix Earthquake's music?
Like, yeah, he's a bad guy.
He's big. He's Cass. He's big ass.
I thought it was hilarious how the camera shot caught him when he was coming to the ring.
What else?
WWE make those casshole shirts. I'll buy one.
I'm surprised they haven't started yet. Yet is the key word.
There's someone who will probably feel both Pro Wrestling Tees.
I'm about to say, I'm pretty sure Pro Wrestling Tees also already has them churned out. You see how fast they made those Suplex City shirts the second that started.
Mm.
Shall we talk about missed opportunity?
That being?
Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns.
Well, don't forget, that was towards the end. There were still a couple of matches.
I know. I'm just... Okay, we already talked about that match. Alexa Bliss versus... Well, we all knew Alexa was going to win. Nothing against Sasha Banks. But as I said last week, Alexa is just a placeholder until it's time for Asuka to rise up and murder her.
I mean, the match was still good.
The match was still good. Don't get me wrong. It was a great match.
But everyone knew Sasha wasn't going to win the title. The fact that Bliss... Then again, I think Sasha won but got counted out, or Bliss or something. I forget.
Let me actually double check the results. I think that's exactly what happened. Bliss won but Banks won by count out. To the sheet. I should probably recharge my phone. And yeah, Sasha Banks won by count out. So Banks did win, technically, which will probably prompt another match. But we know the title's not going off Alexa anytime soon. What else? Well, the tag team Iron Man match was better than they had right to be honest. Though kind of sad that the first pinfall was like in 3 seconds.
Hey, considering the fact that match was literally just tossed on the week before, It was still pretty damn good.
Yeah. Of course, the Hardys cut an amazing promo this week, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, it's
But
like
yeah,
you said, we'll get to it.
Sheamus and Cesaro are still your tag team champions. And, well, who didn't see the result of this one? The Miz defeats... Thanks to the Mizaraj, the Miz managed to defeat Dean Ambrose to retain the Intercontinental Championship.
Yay, Ball and Axel.
Hey, at least it gives them something to do and makes them relevant on TV. And who knows, they might one day have a Damien Sandow effect.
Yay, Ball and Axel. Woo! Better than Miz. Both of them.
Psst.
Hey, at least it was actually entertaining to watch. At least you're actually gonna get more of entertainment from the Miztourage than Dean Ambrose right now.
We got more entertainment from the Miztourage than the Miz.
Ambrose has gotten stale.
Yeah. Like, he needs some... Like, admittedly, all three members of the Shield need something to kick in the ass. But if you had to pick out one single one, Ambrose would be the one.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, it might be time to reassemble the Shield.
No.
Not yet. I mean, it might be.
The Marks don't deserve to see the Shield brought back together.
Yeah, there's even something that someone actually put something up, and I was like, okay, this might be interesting. Like, would having the Shield come back actually hurt them?
That's also a problem because, I don't know. Something needs to happen to Dean, and admittedly, something needs to happen to Roman. Something could have happened to Roman this week, but well, might as well talk about it since the only match left is championship after this. Roman Reigns versus the Strowman in an ambulance match. And using his brains, the Strowman defeats Roman by sidestepping the spear, and Roman floats right into the ambulance.
That was honestly the best match on the show.
Yeah, really. Now, what happened after the match is what everyone was talking about. Because, well, okay. Huh?
They went at it. They took the fight to each other. It was just a good old-fashioned fight, and it was fun to watch. I actually really got into that match.
It was a good
one of those wins. I won't mind. It was one of those things.
It was a good old-fashioned brawl to the end. Both surprised no one went through the announce table. Looks like they were setting that up, but yeah.
But here's what was I loved how the fight was going up. Plus, I like how Strowman was at the pin, but the ref's like, no, because Strowman was such in the moment that he was like, oh right, I actually had to put him in there.
Strowman gets sent through the LED screen and just stands up like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Roman him with multiple chair shots. Strowman's just walking towards him like the Goliath.
And the best part is when they finally get to the ambulance.
I literally thought at one point Strowman was going to throw him through the side into the ambulance. I'm like, oh my god, if that was the finish, I would have just went.
You would have been ape shit?
Literally 5 minutes before it happened, John actually called the finish on that.
What, him doing a Scooby-Doo jump?
Literally, John was like, "Watch, this is how the match is gonna end. He's gonna go to spear Braun, and Braun's gonna duck out of the way."
Which is exactly
what happened. But you gotta admit, it was the funniest finish to that.
And it shows that Braun's a smart monster.
Yeah, but it was funny as hell. And then someone on Twitter decided to put in the Scooby-Doo sound effects.
Nicer than me. I would put in the merry-go-round broke down the Looney Tunes theme.
It was just so perfect. I mean, I could not fault them for going that direction simply because it was funny as hell when that happened.
Like, what? I win!
And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah! Son of a bitch.
So normally in ambulance matches, the ambulance drives away after the end of the match. It didn't this time.
Nope.
Damn, man.
What?
I'm sorry to talk about something that's not related to wrestling, but it needs to be said.
What's that?
Go ahead.
His wife gets fatter in every picture that they take together.
Who?
Who?
My buddy's wife gets fatter in every picture they take together.
Steven?
I don't want to say who it is, but I'm just going to leave it at that.
I always said who it was!
Oh, man.
Love is love, man.
Love is love, yes. And, of course, what decided to happen was Roman decided to come out like the sore loser that he was, beat Strowman, threw him in the back of the ambulance, shoved the guy out of the car.
He drove out the poor ambulance worker, drove the ambulance to the parking lot, and, well, rammed the back of the ambulance into the truck.
And the only thing that was going through my mind is, what? Like,
I mean, everybody's like, did Reigns just turn heel?
We'll
This
get...
is the perfect time to do it.
Say again?
This was the perfect time to do it.
I mean, he just lost clean as a sheet. He could blame no one but himself. He put himself in the ambulance. All Brian to do is shut the doors. Instead, he goes off, he attacks a defenseless man, throws him in the ambulance, attacks a defenseless ambulance worker, and then tries to cripple the man. And
It was just, what in the hell?
the next segment, well, technically there was another match after this. Heath Slater versus what's his name now? Kurt Hawkins. Supposedly, according to Kurt on Twitter, Heath Slater won using a top rope Canadian destroyer. Unfortunately, no one saw it because the camera was focused on them trying to get Strowman out the ambulance using the jaws of life the whole time.
Yeah, and I was like, going this far, really, guys? I mean, you look...
Well, they're playing up with what happened.
Well, yes. It should have been like what they should have done, in my honest opinion, just to show how much of a beast Strowman is. He should have just like slammed the door out. He falls out, and everyone's like, "Whoa, Strowman!" He just and does what he did at the end, like when he was let out.
Well, in that case, then if Strowman could have got out, then Jamie Noble could have gone out with the crowbar. So they had to play up the fact that Strowman was really trapped in there.
Yeah, I got a point. But then, of course, after this whole thing happened, you saw Strowman bloodied. Not sure if that's real. That'd be funny if actually that'd be funny if part of it was real.
I still want to see that top rope Canadian destroyer. Did you?
Yeah, really.
And the best part about this was that Strowman's like, "Leave me alone," and you look at his face when he was like, when he had his arm up, and you saw what his face looked like, and you just go, "Oh, fuck." That's
just to give you an idea how funny this random joke is before you continue to read. The Canadian destroyer is a front flip pile driver.
Ooh.
So yeah, it used to be done by this TNA wrestler named Petey Williams, which we're going to talk about TNA in a minute because we had a surprise guest on WWE 24/7. Well, not a surprise guest, but
surprise to everyone that this actually happened.
So yeah, perfect time to turn Strowman into his bat. Like, it was Austin and Brett all over again. Brett was this good guy that the fans couldn't stand, and Austin was this dirty heel that the fans cheered. And you had the same thing. Strowman was this dirty heel that the fans cheered, and Roman was the quote-unquote good guy in the situation that snapped.
And the only question that's on your mind is, how did WWE decide to get away with this? Especially when you consider the fact that, considering if this wasn't wrestling, this would be considered vehicular manslaughter. Or attempted vehicular manslaughter.
It's wrestling, Reed. We did have some.
I know that
manslaughter, and the guys.
No. I'm saying that if this wasn't,
Should we? Shall we go on to the main event of the evening?
Yes, let's go to the main event, which I enjoyed.
There was no way that match was going to live up to the hype.
No.
No, it wasn't.
Impossible.
Get that out of the way right now. Not saying that it was a bad match.
No, but it was still fun.
It was.
But you felt there was one thing that everyone, I think, is all in agree with. It should have gone longer.
It could have went an hour and it still would have felt like it was too short.
That's the thing, though. You saw the chemistry work so well.
They had a fantastic. They fucking went at each other.
Like
They did.
Brock won the match, but Joe won the night. Is that the best way to say it?
Yes.
What? It's like on Raw what fucking Joe told him. He was like, "You didn't beat me, bro. You survived."
No, you escaped me.
Because
Yeah,
Joe had Brock dead to rights. Yeah, Brock hit Suplex City. Brock hit a couple of moves. But most of the match, Joe had Brock dead to rights. It took
Exactly.
like an emergency F5 just to put Joe down for 3 seconds.
Which I must say, it was. I bet WWE is probably going, oh, like, this is money right here. The fact that the fans and a lot of the guys in the back, hell, even Brock Lesnar was happy. That's a rarity. The fact that Brock Lesnar was happy, this kind of shows WWE that they might have something magical. So, why not go for round 2 at SummerSlam?
Well, what about
Unfortunately-
you have anything to add, Lou?
No, it was just like I said. It was a dream match of mine for years to see these guys go at it. And when they did, they didn't disappoint. It's just one of those. I wish it could have went a little longer.
Kind of like that
I'm with-
Castlevania series that's out now.
I've only no. Shh! I've only watched the first 2 episodes.
Let's just say by the time you get to episode 4, you're wondering where's episode 5.
Yeah, I've only watched the first 2 episodes so far. So la 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 la.
One day I'll get Netflix.
And for the first time ever, we can say Monday Night Raw didn't suck balls.
It was actually very good.
We're going to be scared all over the place, so excuse us if we jump around. But that Heyman, Lesnar, Joe...
Segment before the whole Kurt Angle bullshit was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
As Lou said, that Joe came out and said that, yo, I didn't beat you. You didn't beat me. You escaped.
Like, you escaped me.
Lesnar pointed out that, yes, I beat you already. I beat freaking, what's his name? Roman Reigns. Who was surprised didn't cut a heel promo? Now, mind you, Braun Strowman was not in the show. This was the only major disappointment.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I can understand why, but it was just one of those things where I'm just going, dude, you were so close, and you didn't pull the trigger. It's like literally pointed at it's like literally pointed right at you, and you didn't. Ugh, it's one of those...
But let's be honest, how many people smell at least a triple threat at SummerSlam? Because there's no way they can't drop Joe Lesnar now.
They can't, but honestly, a round 2, just to actually finish it, would actually be fun to watch.
Down the line.
It's going to happen. We're going to get Joe Lesnar singles, too. I'm just saying for SummerSlam, it's probably at least going to be a triple threat. Maybe a fatal 4-way of Braun. Who knows?
I think it's going to be a 4-way.
It would be a 4-way, but in honesty, I know it's like, seriously, it's like a month and a half away.
Well, that's perfect enough time to build it up. We already have the #1 contenders next week. Have Braun interfere in that. Maybe the week after that, have it be a triple threat and something happens, at which force Kurt Angle to say, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to have a fatal 4-way for the Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar will have to defend against Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman.
But the question is, it has to come to this point. If they do decide to do that, is it too much of a match?
No.
I mean, you're putting in a lot of.
I mean, Roman Reigns is WWE's golden boy. Let's just get that out the way.
Oh yeah, we all know that.
Lesnar versus Joe. Even WWE's has realized that's money on the table. There's no way they could leave. And people want to see Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would love to see that.
And for something as big as SummerSlam, especially since this is probably going to be the Cena Bella wedding, more likely than not.
I doubt they're gonna do that. I mean, there's absolutely no way they're gonna go do that. But that's for later to talk about.
I'll be mailing you your humble pie in 2 months, Reed.
We will wait to see. We will wait and see.
Lou, are you ready to mail him the crow that comes with it? Huh?
Definitely.
There you go.
I will eat that humble pie if it does happen. I will eat that humble pie with the crow, if you guys will allow me to broil it.
We'll think about it. Anyway, what else? What else happened? Well, Big Cass came out and cut a promo as well, and Big Show came out to challenge him.
And it's like one of those things that, yeah,
Hey, there's Will.
Well, we just got done with the
Great Balls of
pay-per-view.
Fire.
Oh,
Hey,
Yeah,
buddy.
okay.
Do you want to give out your 2 cents for the whole pay-per-view?
Was confused about the finish between Lesnar and Joe. Wanted the fight to be longer. I fell asleep during the ambulance match.
What?
You mean you fell asleep with one of the best parts afterwards? Or how it ended?
No. I fell asleep during the match itself. I woke up to the crash into the truck.
Oh, so you didn't see how the Strowman outsmarted the Roman?
I saw it later. That I thought was a bit brilliant. It makes him look strong. Alexa is obviously Alexa. Can I use my veto to because I originally said Wyatt and then I changed to Rollins and then I'm fucked, aren't I?
You're fucked.
You're fucked.
Everybody lost that one. Will just let it be.
Even though I said Wyatt last week. Okay. To be fair, it was on a
the current leaderboards a 3-way tie between me, Lou, and Reed.
Yeah.
What are the points total now? Actually, I'm just a little lost. Let me just go check.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. We're all at 23 points.
Yay, me.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well,
Yeah.
I put 22 plus 1 just because of your bet.
Yeah, that counts as the point.
Well, then if you want to get 23, go ahead and fix it if you want.
I'll fix it later. So we have to sit down, come up with something for. Well, we already got July, August.
Now,
But that's another time.
yeah. But anyway, but past our scores and all that, I gotta say that for Great Balls of Fire was actually for a B show. Seriously, a B show. Which, let's be honest, we were not expecting much out of this. We were expecting a normal B show. We almost got an A class pay-per-view with what was going on. I'm like, seriously.
I mean,
This is
yeah,
on the-
Top to bottom was good.
yeah.
It
Everyone-
was.
So going into the show, I was like, son, this is a great card.
Yeah, and a lot. We got some pleasant surprises like the Wyatt win. We got things that needed to happen, like Cass murdering Enzo.
Yep.
And Enzo cutting a promo of his life.
Yep.
We got a surprise with the Strowman being the Reigns. Well, I'm the only one who picked Reigns, so yeah.
And I will say this:
Neville versus Tosawa wasn't bad. It's just we all knew Neville was going to keep the title, even because it was a pre-show.
Yeah.
Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Hardys was better than it had any right to be for an Iron Man match.
I know, right? And it was a tag Iron Man, which is
The funny thing about that was that I was like, oh, it's going to be one of these, isn't it?
The second Matt got pinned like in 10 seconds.
The second Matt got pinned in the first 10 seconds, I'm just like, oh, it's going to be one of these, isn't it? They did drive the pace of the match. That was good. Was the color accidental or on purpose? Does
Well, that
anybody-
Are you talking about Matt?
Yes.
Yeah,
That was
That was accidental. That was
because
completely
both Matt and
accidental.
Sheamus both got busted.
So Matt turned that completely into an advantage the next night, obviously.
Yeah.
That
We'll
worked
get
out
to
really.
that part.
We'll get to that part later, but that was a good match. It's still not the Coke spot. I mean, alleged Schedule 2 white powder spot. You weren't there. You weren't there for that, Lou, unless you caught up on the show last week.
No, I
Oh.
didn't get to. I've been working a fucking crazy ass schedule.
I believe it from what you've been telling me. Long story short, a guy who appeared as a bounty hunter whose name was not John Morrison, even though he looked like John Morrison and did moves like John Morrison, he definitely wasn't John Morrison. Went up had a tag team, and his tag team partner went up against two guys, one named Rocky Romero and the other guy named Super Panda, both carrying Cuban flags. There was a bit.
That's a really cool dude.
They are really cool. They are really cool.
I know Rocky. I don't know who was the dude in the panda suit, but I know Rocky.
Yeah. So the person was Boone the Bounty Hunter, who was definitely not played by John Morrison, even though he looked like John Morrison, decided to dig around Rocky Romero's tights, did not find anything. And then he yelled out later on, let's find the drugs. So he dove into Super Panda's tights and found a plastic bag filled with a white powdery substance. The white powdery substance was then used later on in a spot where he tried to where Rocky Romero tried to blind Willie Mack. Mack ducked out of the way and it hit the referee in the face.
What the hell?
Oh no, it gets even better.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Oh,
The white powdery substance began to work his way through the referee's bloodstream, and instead of being blinded, he went berserk and took out all four wrestlers.
What the fuck?
He super kicked all four of them.
Wait, is he a reincarnation of the Young Bucks?
No. This guy had more class because even though he dove out of the ring, he then took a bar stool to the face.
There you
Ouch! Ouch!
And he was the only one that got color that entire night.
Two colors.
And this is why I will go to Bar Wrestling 3.
Oh, you can tell who shows up at Bar Wrestling 3 since I kind of ruined it last week.
Tommy Dreamer.
That's awesome.
Now,
They've confirmed a few other people since then too.
Now, some Canadian guy in the chat, and I'm sorry I haven't been looking at the chat room because I was checking out the news, I usually do, said that Dixie might show up on Raw next week. I don't know if you're still listening to this. I don't know. If she does, she does.
You know what's funny, though? I was literally telling John, I said, wouldn't it be awesome that he reveals he was having an affair with Dixie the whole time? That would just be one of those, holy shit.
That would surprise people. At least they introduced Dixie in a way, kind of, for the network. What else? Well, we have to talk.
Well, yeah, but in order for that to happen, there needs to be the Joey Ryan chant of "Please get tested, please get tested."
And trust me, if next week's Raw's in Philly, you probably might get that chant. Anyway, what do you think about? Before we go back to Raw, what do you think about our friend Alberto? Real quick.
Fuck him.
Real quick. This is a 30-minute piece. I mean, I don't have. I don't have 30 minutes, but I thought Lou was going to have 30 minutes.
Oh,
I thought John was.
Well, John's sick, and we already said our piece on Del Rio at the beginning of the show.
I know
Well,
that's.
Well, for me, I needed to cut mine short because someone made me promise I wouldn't do anything like that.
Why?
Someone asked me, they said, do us a favor. You know, the reason he got suspended was because they knew what we were going to do to him in the locker room the next time he showed up. So don't say your piece. Leave it be. It will be taken care of.
Okay, so the boys
The boys are going to introduce some locker room justice, if you will.
I don't want to say the boys or nothing like that. All I'm going to say is I was told, don't say anything, let us do it.
All right.
Okay.
So, mum's the word
Okay.
from this point
So
on.
we'll take it back from 30 minutes to what the fuck happened on Raw.
Well, we did have a tease at the Hardys slowly breaking, with Jeff saying, "Looks like we might have to fade away and classify ourselves as obsolete," and lines like that.
Yep, and then we had him talk about the magic.
So
And
they
they
are.
have a proclamation.
But the magic came out from somebody else.
Yeah, really. But
Yeah.
But first, really, by form of Gallows and Anderson, who, well, beat up the Hardys. And shortly afterwards, the Revival came back and beat up the Hardys.
And I have to say that, as I eat chicken wings, that the banter between both Wilder and Dawson and Matt Hardy and Jeff has been absolutely hilarious on Twitter. They're just playing it up. Dawson and Wilder are just playing it up as heels. All we want to do is be recognized and people like us. Is that all we can ask? Shit like that. And Matt goes off on him, and it's funny. It is funny to watch, and I think those two teams in a good set, they'll bring the house down.
Oh yeah.
Well, the matches are going to be damn interesting.
It will be, and I'm actually really intrigued to see what they plan on doing.
Raw has no more pay-per-views until SummerSlam, right?
Nothing
Raw has
after SummerSlam.
no more pay-per-views. It's all shows.
Yeah, the last one is Battleground
Which is SmackDown, yeah.
Yeah, so we should be good.
That's a lot of time to, as we said just before you came in here, we were thinking about the next title matches might be a triple threat or a fatal four-way.
Oh gosh.
I hope so, because Joe, I felt that Joe didn't get enough time with Lesnar. I really did.
No, he never did.
Now that Will is here, Will, am I the only person looking at the finish of that fucking Roman, the whole way it ended with the whole ambulance accident and all that shit like that? Am I the only one looking at that and said, what a wasted opportunity for a double turn?
Yes. No. Excuse me. No. I absolutely agree. Because
fucking turned Braun face there.
They could have turned. They could have turned Braun face there. They could have turned Roman heel there. I could have easily seen that. I would have bought it. Bought it. And in all honesty, they're kind of letting Roman do heely talking ish. The problem is on Raw, they were outshone by the guy who couldn't talk, and his name was Brock Lesnar.
Who did talk?
Who did talk? Unfortunately, I never said he didn't talk. I said he couldn't talk.
What about Sailor?
Shit.
He had the vocabulary of LeVar Ball at that point. I don't know what the hell. I don't know. Except the difference between LeVar Ball and Brock Lesnar is that Brock Lesnar can get away with saying that shit because he will kill you.
Yes.
I think he has the same. I think he has the same contract as far as promos like the New Day, the Usos did. They just said, "Go out there, say shit, whatever." Just don't get the censors pissed at us.
He got the censors pissed at him.
Oh yeah, he did.
What you Sailor?
There, are you gonna go tell him, "Hey, Mister, don't use naughty words"?
Yeah, I know.
I'll tell him that in Iron Man's Hulkbuster armor. Then I'll tell him anything.
Speaking of promos. Speaking of promos, before we get back to Raw, did anybody enjoy Conor McGregor's promo on Floyd Mayweather?
Oh my god, I fucking love McGregor more and more.
Did you see his suit?
Yes,
the fuck you suit.
The fuck you pinstripes. Yes,
I want one myself. I want it style. You know the suit and the striped suit that Tony wears at the end of Scarface.
Yeah.
I want that style.
I think there was another guy who responded and said, "Crap! Now I can't wear my eat shit suit." Fuck.
I didn't even know Comic Con promo. I was just still mystified by the fuck you suit.
Okay, you said that now, and I'm actually just looking on Twitter, just all of a sudden randomly see it, and I actually see the pinstripe suit that literally says "fuck you" on the pinstripe.
It's on my freaking Facebook.
Yeah.
I retweeted the
I missed
second
it.
I got it.
I don't look at everything Facebook, my friend.
Good point. Let me look up the Connor promo.
Hold on, I got the
Wow.
image just in case you could show it on screen.
But yeah, that was brilliant. Now, granted, does anybody think that Connor is going to actually win?
Personally, I hope so, but well, that's personal.
On a boxing to boxing basis.
I hope. I just know he's not.
One thing, I know it's a boxing fight, but let me explain something. Conor McGregor's 20 years younger than this guy.
Mm-hmm. And he's not boxing like that guy.
But let me tell you something. If this was Floyd in 2003 in a boxing match, I fucking hate Floyd Mayweather. To me, someone may get offended, whatever. Floyd Mayweather is the definition of the word nigger. He defines that term. But I will always respect him because he is one hell of a fucking athlete. I will give the devil his due. One hell of an athlete. One of the best fighters of all time. Mm-hmm. As he got older, he got lazy and fucking, depended on fucking doing, taking advantage of the cards and all that shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
But if this was Floyd in 2003, Floyd would have fucking eaten McGregor alive.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't see that happening.
And that's the suit. Well, I just realized I had window capture ones. I could have just done that. But yeah, that's it for everyone.
Now, the thing is, I actually would agree with you. He is a good fighter, especially when he was younger. But again, he did get lazy. He was just doing it now just for
money.
He was just doing it for the money, and
so was McGregor.
Well, yeah, too, but
here's the thing, though. McGregor's still fucking active. Floyd's basically retired.
Yeah.
If this fight, like I said, I can't fucking stand Mayweather.
Right.
But all the respect in the world, because when he was younger, no one could touch that kid. That can't be denied. Mm-hmm. But if you look back at his last couple of fights, Floyd wasn't shit anymore. He just took advantage of the fucking cards. People can get mad. Oh, that's the sweet science. Running from Manny Pacquiao from a fucking happened 10 years before it did.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that. The whole Manny Pacquiao bullshit.
I think you and I would agree with that.
No offense, but Tyson was the way Tyson moved to the ring was the sweet science. Yeah, everyone could talk about his power, and his power is what made him a legend. But when you see him in his prime, the way he moves in and out like a snake to avoid punches, that is part of the sweet science. Not running like a you-know-what for 12 rounds.
Not getting hit in the face by a Filipino and going, holy shit, they hit that hard.
But that's just me personally.
And he's part of Congress? Or he's a politician?
He's a politician?
Shit. He's a politician, a philanthropist. The guy donates his money.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
I'm sorry. Did anybody here classic rock fans like myself?
Yes.
For it.
Okay, you know the Eagles song, Hotel California?
Yeah.
So someone made a meme. It says Hotel California. Basically a negative Yelp review with a 2-minute guitar solo. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take away from the thing.
No. Sometimes we need stuff like that.
We need some levity. And now, why am I thinking the Hotel Hell thing? Hotel Hell song for some reason.
Oh, great. Now that thing's going to be in my head from now on. Every time I think Hotel California, it's just a song about a Yelp review.
I'd say long-winded negative Yelp review. Jeez.
Jeez. But yeah, I mean, okay, I'm just gonna get this out here right now. The only reason I'd rather have Conor McGregor beat Floyd Mayweather is just to see, just for one simple reason, to show that you threw away something that you shouldn't have.
What do you throw away?
What do you throw away?
His dignity.
I don't think
He
never had
I don't think he had it to begin with.
Exactly.
But he's not. So he's not throwing away anything. The only thing he's throwing. If there were any actual stakes in this, because to be fair, there aren't. There aren't. If Mayweather wins, you can beef it up to, oh well, he's just not good at boxing. You put him in MMA, it's a completely different thing. If Conor wins, it's like, oh well, Mayweather's too old. He wasn't in his prime anymore.
It's a catch-22.
The only thing right now that's being worked is us, because both Mayweather and McGregor are laughing all the way to the fucking bank.
How much is their purse?
Something like $100 million.
All I know is that the fucking fight's gonna be $90.
What?
Order.
What?
90? 90?
Is there even
90.
gonna be any? Is there even gonna be any undercard?
90?
$90?
$90? That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Well, at one point it was 100.
I was told it was 100. I was told it was 100.
Unless I fucking read it wrong, maybe you guys can look it up. I'm just a lazy shit and don't feel like doing it.
And you have to think about it this way. That's the home pay-per-view buy.
Yeah.
Just imagine the bars, the sports places, all those places. They don't pay by the person. They pay by the square foot.
Ew.
That's where all the money of the pay-per-view action is made, because it's the same thing with NFL Sunday Ticket. It's the same thing with all the big pay-per-view programs. All the bars and sports places and all that shit, they pay by the square foot or by the total number of people inside. I mean, they end up paying thousands upon thousands of dollars to put these things in there. WWE had the same thing, but now with the network, it's different. I don't know what their commercial accounts are like. I mean, if it were up to me doing a WWE network pay-per-view at a bar, I'd just hook up a Roku box and send it to a fucking HDMI splitter to 4 televisions.
Well, there you go. Surprised no one's done that. Surprised no one's done that, to be honest.
Well, I think that's part of the state of wrestling also, but we can get into that later on after we're done. We're done talking about the greatest wrestling promotion today, and that's Money Mayweather Productions.
Anything on SmackDown that's interesting other than, well, ain't on SmackDown that was interesting, to be honest?
To be honest, once I saw the tag match, and I'm like, oh, Cena's going to pin Owens. I watched the Home Run Derby instead.
I think that's what everybody wound up doing.
Well, yeah,
I can understand that.
But out of nowhere, AJ Styles, United States champion?
Oh, yeah. How could I forget that?
How can you forget that? He wins at a fucking house show.
In
MSG.
At
Which is-
MSG.
I mean, let's be honest. It's better to do it someplace that's famous like MSG than some
Hole in the
random,
wall?
some random hole in the wall. Just, it's there. It was big, and the fact that it actually happened. And most people, that's what's also the greatest part about these house events that have something like that happen, is that people start now speculating, like, is Owens injured? Is Owens gonna have to go do all this and all that? Everyone started doing that, and it wasn't. It was just part of the story. He is not injured.
Now, as of this time, the Owens Styles match for the title has been dropped from the Battlegrounds card.
Except it's back.
It is?
Yeah.
They probably just put it back then.
No, because now it's a rematch.
So that's when Owens is using his rematch clause.
Rematch clause. Okay.
Yep. He's using his rematch clause at Battleground to get that title back.
Which I hope he doesn't. I know. I don't want to say I don't want to see Owens without the title, but You can't,
Understandable.
It's one of those matches you can't pick a winner, but I want Styles to win so he can have a solid U.S. title run.
It's completely understandable why, but also here's another thing that WWE is also doing this is possibly because they have other plans for Owens at this time, possibly to go get the title back.
What you mean? You mean the world title?
Possibly, because I mean the thing is, once they actually finish up with Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal, where do you go now? I mean, they got to figure out something. They're having their big Punjabi match at Battleground. They can't have another match like this and go to SummerSlam to do it. It feels like something else has to happen. And plus,
yeah, they can't. They can't have.
You can't top the prison. Once you get past the prison, either Orton has to fall off. Assuming Orton loses for one more time, someone else has to step up to be the #1 contender.
Right.
Exactly. So the question is who? And plus, let's not forget, Corbin still has the case.
Yeah, but Corbin still has the case. Probably going to face Nakamura at Battleground.
He is facing at Battleground.
Oh, it's official now?
You know what okay. Booking toilet real quick. You gave me 15 seconds. I was able to come up with something.
All right. Booking toilet is up.
Jinder wins his match at Punjabi Prison Battleground. I think we can all agree on that. That he's going to win.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't see Randy Orton losing. Of course, I fucked up, Rollins and Wyatt, but you never know.
We all did.
I didn't the first time. Anyway, you have him going. You've obviously got a heel. You've got two guys there. You got the two guys. You have Jinder coming out saying, "Look at what I've done. Look at you, you people. You have no idea what you're doing. I represent India. Blah 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 blah." Out comes the phenomenal one. Hey, you want to make fun of my country where I live in? And he's from the fucking South. He could pull something out of his ass for that. I tell you what, SummerSlam, I'll beat you for that. There you go. You have your #1 contender right there.
Yeah.
AJ representing it's the classic foreigner versus the American. And how much more all-American boy can you get than AJ Styles?
Sure.
Even with the beard and the tattoo and the soccer mom hair.
And hell, he'll be U.S. champion, so it'll be a champion versus champion match.
And it would be a champion versus champion match. And if you want to screw with it, you could try to have Corbin have AJ drop the title to Corbin as a fuck up, but at least it would get the belt off of Jinder if they wanted to do that. Or they could have Jinder continue on. You have different options there,
They've already killed the buzz on Jinder because he's been the mid-card heavyweight champion of the world.
Because he's been facing guys like Mojo Rawley, and this week he faced Ty Dillinger.
Did he lose? Well, I know he lost to Mojo, right?
No, he beat everybody.
He beat everybody.
It's not that Jinder's losing, it's that they're putting Jinder like in the middle of the show instead of the main event focus.
Oh, you mean like they usually do?
Yeah, except now Jinder's world champion.
Well, no. I mean, like they usually do with world champions. They did that with AJ so many times. I mean, I still remember was like, okay, AJ's world champion. He's the first match. What?
Yeah.
Now, granted, that was usually on the combined shows, but still, it's just like, what? Why? What?
I think they let Jinder's buzz die out. The buzz of him winning, it fell flat. Why? Because they didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And then when they question why Jinder failed as a champion, they yeah. And there went the plate. So
when you have Jinder cutting promos saying that the great Khali was his greatest inspiration.
Well, you remember they used a bitch slap Khali?
Mhm.
You're like, wait, what? Wasn't you? Didn't you attack Kali?
Aren't you technically supposed to be Kali's brother-in-law? That was the whole point of that pointless feud between the two of them.
I don't know.
He's my exactly.
I believe the word we're looking for here is continuity.
What's that?
Something the WWE doesn't even want to have people remember.
No, people don't. At this point, people don't want to remember, and I hope it gets seared into their heads. The power ballad of Maria and Mike Kanellis, but
I love that.
that bit was hilarious. Have you seen what they've done with their thing on Up Up Down Down?
Yeah,
I saw parts of it.
That was brilliant.
What they do?
I hate to go off the tangent on a non-wrestling thing here, but
Oh, please! Half the show's been non-wrestling this week.
really cool to see that two people genuinely love each other. You can see in that Up Up Down Down episodes that they really do care about each other. It's cool to see something like that because so many relationships get ruined because of the business. You very rarely see a relationship make it.
Yeah. I would say in the business in Hollywood, how high is the divorce rate in America alone? Then you have Hollywood, then you have the wrestling business.
You can see that they're generally happy to be together. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. And they obviously love the bit that they're doing.
Yeah.
I still want them to get Bruce Pritchard.
Oh,
Just
It's
once.
Bruce has their fucking sermon.
Yeah, absolutely. Shit.
And considering the fact that GFW has no world champion now, he's an abusive piece of shit.
Like I said in the beginning, they're probably going to find a way to give it back to Bobby Lashley. Because, we talked about this near the beginning. Alberto Del Rio has been suspended indefinitely.
You know what? She's defending him. Have you seen the recent post that she put up on Twitter?
But I don't want to get into psychological things here, but don't all victims defend their abusers? Or a lot of them, at least?
Almost like Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, just a little something. Yesterday was Brock Lesnar's birthday. He is now officially 40.
Congratulations to Suplex City.
Congratulations to Suplex City and your lack of diverticulitis.
But
The man with almost no neck.
Say what you want about Brock Lesnar and people. Shit. Did you hear about the Amanda Nunes bullshit?
What's that?
How she pulled out of her title fight because
tummy ache on Saturday.
because something that the doctors couldn't confirm, and then her girlfriend said you shouldn't fight, so she didn't. Say what you want about Brock Lesnar being a part-time champion. The man fought with a fucking fucked up set of intestines.
And he fucking fought Alistair Overeem on top of that.
Yeah.
Never mind that he was fucking dealing with symptoms of diverticulitis, whatever the fuck. I forget how you pronounce it. But he got
fucked up intestines.
Yeah, he got in there with that fucking monster Overeem.
I'm still mad that Overeem beat Verdum by decision, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like I say, that bullshit is just, that's why I say, say what you say about Lesnar. At least he had the balls to get inside that cage with what he had in terms of what was going on with his body, and he still fought.
Yeah.
As champion.
Mm-hmm. By the way, the next time you bump into Shayna, give her a fist bump for me and tell her, hell yeah, congratulations for getting into the main.
Yeah, we got, that was found out. I'm not part of the inner circle of those things, so I assume that their inner circle knew about this probably 5 weeks in advance. There was a convenient road trip put up by their close personal friend Ronda Rousey saying that they were going to go on a road trip for their bachelorette party. And so I went, I wonder if they're going to go to Florida. Gee, I wonder where this is going to lead to. The next day, the article gets posted, and the guy I'm talking to goes, okay, well, if you're not part of the kayfabe, you don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm sitting here going, oh, all right. I wasn't part of the inner circle, so I didn't know about anything anyway. But I assumed it's going to be a reunion of the Four Horsewomen, obviously, particularly since Marina's been a part of the storylines for a while.
Her total fist bump for me. I'm glad she's getting the opportunity to showcase herself in WWE.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be a thing that she'll love, and I'm glad that she's going to be on the Mae Young Classic. So I'll probably end up seeing her August 17th, because I don't know if she's going to be booked on that show or not, but she'll probably be booked on that show. They're still announcing. If not, she'll definitely be there to watch.
Wait, I was really fucking happy when I saw that she was chosen.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured she would for the Mae Young Classic. For a contract, I'm not sure, but
we'll see. Sometimes, depending on whether they like them or not, because remember they do have to reload some of the women's roster, especially on NXT.
Same fucking company that at one time employed Kelly.
Yeah.
Well, that was during the the bodybuilders and lingerie models era.
But still.
And that's leftover Russo territory. But they also got I know they got Tessa Blanchard, and oh gosh, is she good?
Mm-hmm.
She's good. I know they confirmed Rachel Ellering, although she'll be under Rachel Evers for some bizarre fucking reason.
Well, think about Paul Ellering's on NXT, so they probably want to make them separate.
Well, yeah, I know.
They probably don't want to say, "Oh, it's a dollar Paul Ellering."
Barbarian's daughter is one of the girls that brought in too.
Yeah. If they could get Deonna Purrazzo, I'd love that shit. That'd be great. Just to piss off the marks that don't like Rip Rogers.
Now, as long as they don't bring in what you call Tessa Von Erich, or what's her name?
Oh,
Lacey Von Erich.
Lacey Von Botch has been gone from the wrestling business for about 7 or 8 years.
I know she shifted over to porn at one point and then disappeared from the world.
Well, that bit I didn't know about.
Yeah, she did porn for a little bit.
Then she got married, I thought.
I said for a little bit, like shortly after TNA cut ties with her. Speaking of TNA, what everyone think of? Anyone watch the Kurt Angle Homecoming special?
I was going to say, speaking of TNA, what about TNA? We just talked about her for about 2 seconds.
Yes.
I saw that special. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That special hit a little too close to home for me. I don't need to go into why, you know.
Yeah. Well, I know.
I don't, but I get the idea.
Yeah, that hit a little too close to home for me.
And I haven't watched the show yet, so but I think I get the idea.
I haven't seen the special, but I known people that went through stuff like that. So I understand I can't understand what Kurt's going through, but I understood what his family was going through.
Yeah.
Huh?
I've been on both sides of that, so it's...
Plus, of course, we might as well just get this elephant out the way right now. Surprised to see Dixie Carter there?
Yes and no.
Yes and no, but I was kind of expecting some kind of thing where they actually are going to like hold her back, but apparently she did not. And again, it's just really interesting to see Dixie Carter, of all people.
Well, technically speaking, she's not a part of the wrestling side of the business anymore, and does not have a contract with the actual wrestling organization. She has a contract with a company that streams fights and wrestling and yada yada yada. That's part of Anthem Sports, which is, I suppose, in some weird, funky way, not in direct competition with World Wrestling Entertainment.
Let's get out of the way. She's a figurehead. She's a figurehead.
Well, she was a figurehead even when she was running TNA.
I mean, she's actually now just a figurehead.
But I'm beginning to wonder a couple of things with her presence there, and how it almost coincidentally coincides with certain words said by certain brothers on said wrestling show.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if part of that was the payoff.
It's very possible.
Like I say, approach everything from a bunch of different angles. No pun intended, but it's there. With any of the situations that go on or don't go on within the companies.
Well, let's not forget at one point that Christian had to go back to TNA for a short time due to some payoff deal that WWE made or something like that. I'm trying to remember.
It got Flair to appear at the Hall of Fame even though he was working for TNA.
Thank you very much.
When the Horsemen got inducted, and Flair basically came out there and said, "I'd rather be here than there."
And as the exchange, they had that Christian go over for a week.
That helped so much. Excuse me, I wish I was here instead of there.
We'll just put that when we finally do part 3 of the Dixie Carter era of TNA. I put it as a little side note.
We'll have to get John the U-shoot of Dixie Carter.
Oh, and by the way, I've got freaking One Night Stand 2006 playing in the background.
Yeah.
Love JBL's responses to the "You suck dick" chants.
Oh no.
He says, "Your mother taught me how." That right there is a Cactus promo.
Say what you will about JBL.
Yeah.
The man could work a crowd.
The guy can work a crowd. No, I'll give him that. Is he still an asshole? Absolutely, but he can work a crowd.
That's all. I just hope they move him over to the commentary team of NXT.
Yeah, but then what are they going to do with Nigel McGuinness?
Because he can help over there.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Let's leave poor Marlo alone.
I didn't say Morrow's name. I just said that JBL would be an asset to the commentary team over there.
Anyway. Unfortunately, since we're doing this early, we have no TNA to talk about. And we can't follow up on the storyline of Del Rio joining LAX for obvious reasons.
Well, from what I understand, all their TV's recruited straight through August.
Oh.
Yeah.
I find his suspension hilarious. Fucking recorded already.
They not exactly going to edit him out because now, like I said, they have no world champ. They'll just have to admit they have no world champion for the next month. Now I'm trying to figure out how. Okay, quick booking toilet segment. Your TNA, your Global Force Wrestling management got that wrestling company change its name so many goddamn times.
About 4 times to get it right.
Well, excuse me for them changing their name about 4 times. But
they've had to get the stench of Voldemort out and everything that's happened.
First, they have to get the stench of Voldemort out, then they have to get the stench of Dixie out. And since half the people don't remember what Global Force was, there you go.
By the way, another interesting note with my good friend JBL. If those of you do not have it, you can actually finally find it for very cheap right now. On the One Night Stand 2005 DVD. You know, the first show?
Yeah.
There's an audio track with JBL calling the show, making fun of all the fucking ECW guys.
Oh no.
Actually, I probably wouldn't mind hearing that just for shits and giggles.
Oh, it's worth it just to hear him
The-
during the Tanaka Awesome match. Oh my fucking god!
Geez, him throwing shit
Oh,
and having the fake heart attack and all that shit. That was great.
he actually does the bonus commentary literally throughout the whole show. That's the main reason I bought the fucking DVD.
See, now I have to find that DVD or check on Amazon and see if they have it.
to find. You could probably find it for like $5-10 nowadays.
Yeah, it's probably cheap. I actually have a copy lying around somewhere.
Yeah, there was a point in time where that fucking DVD was going for like $40-50.
God damn. Well, then again, at the time, everybody thought that was like the final ECW. In a way, that was the final ECW show.
It was the final ECW show.
Because I don't know if you want to count WWE ECW as ECW, but
Because I actually still have the unedited freaking pay-per-view broadcast. I actually have the fucking unedited show with the original music and
With the original. Yeah, so do I. I have that hidden around on a place.
like I don't have that. I have the Rise and Fall of ECW DVD somewhere in my cabinets.
I got that too somewhere.
That's quite possibly the best DVD WWE home video ever did. When it comes to documentary-wise, I honestly think that was the best documentary they ever did.
Mm. But yeah, what I was about to say before we actually went on to Better Wrestling. Oh yeah, your quick booking segment since we started playing time. Your GFW management, Alberto Del Rio has lost his goddamn mind and now is going to jail. You obviously are going to need a champion in August, and let's pretend you put Del Rio's brother and father off in a corner somewhere. How do you? Yeah.
Wait. I'm GFW management?
Yeah.
Simple. I'm Jeff Jarrett. I'm the champion.
But how would you book it?
Doesn't matter.
Honestly, you know what I would do?
What?
I would pitch an angle where it was like, you know something? Alberto's disgusting. Lashley went out, found him, taught him a lesson, and took the belt from him.
And
that's how I would.
And just declared himself world champion?
He literally went, he said, I heard what he did. You don't give him any press. You just basically say, I heard what he did. I went and showed him what a real man was, and look what I came back with. And who's going to tell me I'm not the champion?
And hey, that's when you have someone else come up and says...
a huge face pop, too.
At this point, yeah, it would be a big
It would be a big face pop.
It would be a big baby face pop, yeah.
Considering what considering what the hell happened, who's going to tell me I'm not champion?
That would be a perfect time for one of the LAX members to come up and says, Alberto has lost his way, but the championship is still in LAX possession. If you want to take it, you got to take it from us, Holmes, or whatever Conan would kind of promo Conan would cut.
Well, they can't say Vato, so, hey.
You know what I mean.
I know.
But, damn, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, isn't the whole thing the fact that at the end of this series of taping that basically Del Rio kicks Conan out of the fucking... Yeah, sorry for spoilers. Fuck you. GFW is fucking garbage anyway.
Yeah. Well, remember at one point it was a pyramid scheme. Well,
yeah, apparently fucking Del Rio and them they excommunicate Conan and Del Rio takes over as leader.
Oh, that's even gonna be better. Okay, don't air that episode. There you go. The episode where Conan gets excommunicated from LAX, you don't air it.
Is Conan under contract with the company still?
Remember, he's under contract with GFW, so he got his contract got carried over.
Right. I keep forgetting somehow he manages to worm his way into other people's business.
Same reason Scott Steiner's still over there again.
Yeah, well, Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner have been buddies for a long time. I'm not really sure how or why, or even when how in the world that makes sense, but they are, and I'm not gonna, bash either of them for it. Mostly because Scott Steiner would kill me not only with his skill, but also his math
and his right. Oh God!
Did you hear wonderful way that Scott Steiner became WCW champion?
How?
Any of you guys read The Death of WCW from the wonderful guys at WrestleCrap?
Of course, I still
Shout
have.
out to
I
Preston and RJ.
actually have it on my phone. The 10-year anniversary edition.
Yeah, he literally walked up to Terry Taylor, grabbed him by the throat. You're gonna make me world champion, motherfucker! Or I'm gonna, or
And
I'll
he
fucking
didn't
kill
get.
It was WCW 2000.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Where the person that held where one of the people that held it the most number of times was the wrestler Vacant.
Yeah?
I swear he had more title reigns than Ric Flair.
He only had it about 9 times. Vacant only had it about 9 times.
Yeah, but in 1 year, that's like That's like an amazing streak, dude.
Oh yeah, I think he's held it more times over a year than Flair did, because Flair did have that belt bounce back and forth unrecognized several times. But yeah. Although it'd be kind of funny to see Vacant with all the belts like Ultimo Dragon.
You ain't got shit on me.
Yeah.
King Kong got shit on me.
Now I'm picturing that Ultimate Dragon pose with the Invisible Man there instead.
Yeah. Or just a guy in a completely black leotard covering the face.
There you go.
Some people call it a gimp suit. Anyway.
We got ourselves a bunch of time.
Yes, we do.
And WWE's finally acknowledged the WWE CW, which was horrible. I loved the original ECW, and I loved the first 2 months of WWE CW.
But it was after December to Dismember when you knew everything just was going right downhill.
For that.
Yeah,
December to Dismember just confirmed it. The new ECW literally went up in smoke, pun intended, when fucking Van Dam and Sabu got busted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Van Dam and Sabu got busted, it went to shit.
In a weird way, you can actually say Van Dam was the last true ECW champion, though. Officially, it was. And ECW was Rhino, and WWE ECW it was
Ezekiel Jackson.
Ezekiel Jackson, yeah.
To me, the final ECW champion will always be Rhino. That's the way I see it. I followed it from fucking being Eastern Championship, watching it on the UHF station where my aunt lived. We used to be able to freaking pick up, the Philadelphia station that showcased ECW. We used to watch it every Saturday night. And I'm talking about, I watched it back when like fucking Jimmy Snuka was TV champion and a heel and beating the crap out of Tommy Dreamer. Psst. I loved it. ECW.
Like you watch, like I did, you know me, Lou. I didn't have cable to like the mid-90s, so I used to watch
the tapes. Yeah.
Like get the tapes. Sometimes it'll come on Fox Sports Net. That's one of the few channels that did come over the airwaves, so I was able to watch it through then. And of course, the most memorable moment of ECW, of course, me personally, was the night before I went to the MEP station, which would take me to Naval Basic Training. I sat up and watched ECW the night Sid came back.
Yay!
Jeez.
So remember, that's like the last image I had as a civilian before I packed up my stuff, went to the MEP station, took the final test, and then got transferred over to Great Lakes, Missouri. Personally, I wish I joined the Air Force, but nothing against my Navy career.
So Lou, you probably appreciate all the Eastern Championship wrestling that they have on the network, then.
Oh, dude, I have original tapes. You gotta understand, I have the entire run of ECW on MSG and TNN on fucking home video. I own every original pay-per-view broadcast. I was huge on ECW from the day it ran to the day it started to the day it died. I made many just over to the arena.
Between you and Dave, you probably have the entire ECW, a probably deeper ECW collection than even WWE has.
Pretty much. Because I have a lot of the house shows and fan cams and stuff like that as well. So,
Makes sense.
but I mean, yeah, I love DCW. It was amazing. Doesn't get the credit it's deserved.
It was what some people said. Oh, it was the NWO or it was the Attitude Era. No, it was ECW that helped kickstart that generation of wrestling. And WWE and WCW saw the fire that ECW was fired on and grabbed his tail.
They both did nothing but steal from ECW.
At the very least, Vince more or less
including. I was gonna say, including their talent.
Yeah, but at least Vince tried to help. Bischoff was just a piece of shit. At least when it comes to that.
So that actually brings up a really interesting question if you think about it, because in a way, ECW pioneered almost two things. At least I feel it pioneered almost two things. It pioneered, obviously, the idea of the Attitude Era, or what we would dub the Attitude Era, the idea of hardcore wrestling as a norm that would, of course, permeate into things like IWA and CZW, which we don't want to mention, and a lot of other stuff. But almost in a way, if you think about it, it also really pioneered the idea of the independent wrestling promotion. That would get a lot of traction. Because remember, at that point in time, despite the fact that it was a shell of its former self, Eastern Championship Wrestling was a part of the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah.
And at that time, I'm not sure if they were still using a semi-territorial system. Obviously, I wouldn't know, because at that point in time, it was run by Dennis Carluzzo. And he's been gone for ages, and I know a lot of people have a fond memory of Dennis, and through that I learned a lot about that through the Dennises of the Week, through the Super Podcast. But when Shane Douglas threw down the NWA title and declared himself the ECW World Heavyweight Champion, that really created Eastern Championship Wrestling not only as Extreme Championship Wrestling, not just independent from the National Wrestling Alliance, but independent, so to speak, in idea of, because obviously some people were on the payroll from WWE at a certain point, etc., of the independent promotion, the idea of the promotion not having ties to a territory that can still get air anywhere, but still kind of has that local
feel to it.
I don't want to say run down, because that's kind of insulting to the business. Having,
I understand what you're trying to get at. I'm trying to find the word for it.
Yeah.
Because that style, that guerrilla type style,
yeah.
used for the filming and stuff like that, that added to ECW.
Yeah. And it like I say, I've been watching bar wrestling for the past two, and I'm obviously going to be at the third. I mean, bar of hardcore is what they're calling it. Tommy Dreamer's going to be there. I'm excited to see it. And I mean, this is the third wrestling event I've seen in a year. And it's at a shit American Legion post in a barrio in Baldwin Park. And it started to make me think about how the independents are run these days, and how it kind of, instead of being tied to a territory and making your money in one spot, which is how the Cornettes and the Bill Wattses of the world at the time were making their money, and the Ole Andersons of the time were making, and the Jerry Lawlers. I could names just come to me like, flashbacks. how they used to make their money in one territory. Now that's almost unfeasible. And you can make the argument that Cornette makes about people not making as much money. And I had to start thinking about it again. It's kind of funny how the nearly certified Cornette apologist has to think about what the fuck Cornette says every so often. Because obviously he has a beef with a lot of different professional wrestlers that are actually successful outside of the WWE sphere. But to what do we measure that success? Bar wrestling is Joey Ryan's baby. He owns it. And he's had 2 shows that have been absolutely fantastic. He was a founder of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla in Reseda.
Yes, he was.
You know, and you've got Super Dragon, and I forget who the other guy who actually owns it. You know, they got together because they were pissed at the promoters, and they thought that they could run a promotion a little differently than anyone else and still draw money. And based on the life of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla still going now, and it's 14 years old because it started in 2003, they're obviously making some money out of it because they still keep selling out fucking tickets. It is a bitch and a half to get tickets to their shows consistently. And they're selling $65, $75, $85 a ticket. So what is the measure of that success? And what's the price that you pay? Well, it seems like that a lot of the independents are now doing the travel thing a lot more similar to WWE travel. I mean, when I was listening to Laura James talk, she said, okay, well, next week we're going to Phoenix, and then we got Vegas, and then we got this, and then we got Texas, et cetera, et cetera. Because I mean, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Ryan's not just in PWG. He's not just doing bar wrestling. He's doing Wrestle Circus. He's doing the local promotions in other areas. And technically, he's still a part of DDT because he's the DDT open Iron Man metal heavyweight champion again, which was in a 3-second match during an intermission. Oh, it was fun because Laura James won the title from Joey Ryan at a Wrestle Circus thing. And she actually came with the title belt to bar wrestling because her tag team, the Killer Bays, were there. And during the intermission, everybody's selling their shit on the side of the ring, right? So I decided, you know what? I need to go get a drink. So I go get a drink, and I accidentally get 2 somehow. It turned into an advantage later on. I won't get into that. So I'm sitting there I'm there at the bar waiting for my drinks. All of a sudden I hear, oh, 1, 2, 3. And there's Joey. And then I look over and there's Joey Ryan holding up the fucking belt. Huh. I'm just like, wait, what? Did I just miss a match? And my second thought was, damn it, somebody has to update the fucking wiki on that fucking title belt because they're over 1,200 title changes. And to be fair, Ryan has not lost to a ladder or a poster or a puppy, although he has lost to Candice LeRae in a dream. But to be fair, almost every single time that he has lost, he has not lost to some sort of inanimate object.
Yeah.
And when I start watching him, at least in the ring, the man was trained by fucking Brian Kendrick and Bryan Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here going, what the hell? These two things do not make sense. So as I'm watching him, I'm going, wait a minute. He has a very clear idea of what he's doing. He just happened to find something provocative that happened to get over. And he's running with it.
That's what I'm saying. I've always had respect for Ryan. It's not like with Omega. I've always had respect for Ryan. I've always been a fan of his work.
And
The guys are happy as hell.
it's interesting. It's just really, really interesting to see the kind of indie stuff that's going on. And I'm not going to lump New Japan into the independents. I'm not going to, because Japan has its own scene. New Japan and All Japan have been at odds with each other for the longest time. Not to mention, the split off that happened after Misawa decided to split off from All Japan and create Pro Wrestling Noah. Which, by the way, if you haven't downloaded it yet, if you haven't bought it yet, get Fire Pro Wrestling World on Steam.
When's it coming out for the consoles?
To be determined. They don't know yet. And the reason why is because the Steam version is early access, and they need to listen to the community at this point, because there's a lot of stuff that they could improve.
Oh.
Even if there are 660 different faces that you can put on a wrestler's body.
God damn.
Well, dude, Fire Pro, it's all about that. Well, all
Yeah,
about the information and all of that.
Yeah, and it's tiny. It's tiny. It's a 500 megabyte game.
So yeah, if you have Steam and you want the console version to be good, go on Steam Early Access, get the game, download it, tell them what sucks, tell them what doesn't, so that the console version is good.
And they'll listen. They'll listen, because I guess Spike Chunsoft is really trying to make sure that they get this right. But a few days ago, one of the thing comes up on early access. 5 hours later, they're already half the fucking WWE roster is already there. Number one download, Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay. But
Lou, when SmackDown versus Raw went online, how many people made calls of the missing wrestlers?
Oh my god, yeah.
And so, of course, I have to download Mitsuharu Misawa and Kenta Kobashi.
Yeah.
This is how accurate the match was. Okay, this is how accurate the match was. They got the movesets pretty much down. All the different types of suplexes. They even have an exchange setup where they did the forearms versus the chops.
Oh, man.
That's how accurate it is. And Misawa would always get the last blow in with the forearm. Kobashi has the burning hammer. It took 3. I had the CPU up to 10, so obviously the matches were going to be a bit different than the way the matches would go. But it reminded me of a Kobashi Misawa match. Misawa
just their matches.
Misawa won with the third Emerald Flosion Kai of the night, which was spread out. It wasn't 3 of them in a row. He ended up doing in different at different times, but there are 3 different versions of the fucking Flosion in the game.
Damn, dude.
So I mean, it's going to take me a while to figure that out. But getting back to the other point, I'm not going to lump Japan as part of the independents, even DDT and whatnot. That's their own, for lack of a better term, territory. I'm glad that New Japan came out here to spread their presence, and a lot of people were really happy about it. You could see it at Bar Wrestling because 70% of the people that were there were wearing Bullet Club fucking t-shirts. But Omega wasn't there. Cody Rhodes was. And as I mentioned last week, people that buy tickets to the next Bar Wrestling will get Bullet Club t-shirts care of Cody Rhodes. Not that I really care. I'm there for fucking Tommy Dreamer. But and the alcohol, but I think.
Well, yeah, it's at a bar, of course.
It's at a bar.
Going for the alcohol.
Well, there's a bar inside the American Legion post. Whether or not my Sons of the Legion card will get me cheaper alcohol, I don't know. But
hey, worth a shot.
Worth a shot, absolutely. So, but however, if I mention my dad's name, they'd probably kick me out because his name's kind of mud in some circles. But I mean, that's it really made me think about how people conduct themselves as an independent contractor on the independent wrestling circuit. I mean, there are people that I've seen now that I'm due to Bar Wrestling and Wrestle Circus and a lot of other shit, that I'm sitting here going, okay, these people understand what they're doing here, and they like it here. And then there are other people that are like, why in the fuck are these people not in Florida? Brian Cage, the fucking machine. He's Vince McMahon's wet dream, other than height. He's about because he's only about a little taller than I am, I think. The motherfucker is nuts. I mean, he's big, he's as wide as Brock Lesnar. I think he's better built. He moves better. He's got the image. He's fucking the ring announcer from Lucha Underground. Good for him. But there was a picture that he posted on his Instagram on how, I guess, their relationship sort of really began, how he had always wanted to focus on getting into WrestleMania as the main event. And I guess he made he had an epiphany of sorts as to whether or not it was going to happen. He was just going to keep on doing what he does best, which is of course put on his tights. GMSI.
GMSI?
That stands for getting my shit in.
Oh.
But getting his shit in is completely different than a spot monkey fest. Which of course is something that Broken Matt Hardy can attest to. He can't take a spot monkey anywhere. Even if it's his brother. Wait, that's not brother. No. You don't understand. Broken Matt Hardy was at a Wrestle Circus thing at one point on the Independents. And I forget who he was facing. They both end up getting knocked out for a little bit. And then the broken Matt Hart and then the broken music hits again. And out comes Sister Nera, who is Leva Bates in fucking Brother Nero garb and makeup and weirdness.
Hey, it could be worse. It could be itchweed.
I would have preferred itchweed. I like me some itchweed for some bizarre reason. That was probably the best part of Total Nonstop. Which again, I did take back about that.
Hey, now that's one character we know we'll never see on WWE TV.
I know, and that's so sad. That's so sad. But it really made me think about the whole independent scene and how people are kind of looking at themselves versus the business as a whole. And it seems to me, at least based on the people that I've been seeing and who I've been talking to, that all of them realize that they're not bigger than the business, but they have the ability to be a better part of the business in their own way. And
in a weird way, and I don't want to interrupt you, it's kind of, going back to the beginning of the episode, it's kind of the opposite of Del Rio.
Well, yeah.
What are you about to say, Lou?
No. Freaking Buddy's jumping all over the damn place. I yelled at him to lay down.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's a cat. Cat's gonna obey things like, an old person using their turn signals. Anyway, it's very, very interesting to see that, because I mean, you see people like Killer Cross or Brian Cage or Willie Mack or Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb, fuck. There's another guy.
Do you ever sit there and look up what I told you about with Willie Mack going into his past, the shit that he went through?
I didn't. I haven't done that yet. I did, but I was going to do it anyway, whether or not I knew about his past. I now have a Willie Mack T-shirt. I had. It was just like, dude, he's that good. He's that good. He sold me. He sold me a shirt, and I'm glad to know that he's still wrestling despite the shit that he went through, whatever it was.
WWE fucked his head up really bad.
And that sucked. And that sucks. And what's funny about that is that he was a part of the fucking cocaine bit.
Yeah.
So what it tells me is a couple of things. I have to start rethinking a lot of the independent scene because I hadn't seen a lot of the independent scene. Mostly independent scene that a lot of us are used to, at least in terms of the beginning parts of it or the exposition to it, was really through Lou's favorite show, Botchamania. Which some of it is true and some of it isn't. And, I grew out of Botchamania a long time ago.
I think a lot of people did, to be honest. Even I grew out of it. Not saying Matt's a bad person. I saw him a couple years ago. Cool dude, but
there's only so much you can do.
There's only so many times you can see a botch before you go, well, yeah.
And while I can bring up the argument of people looking for botches and then people are going to fuck up versus, look, we already know it's a performance. People don't try to fuck up performances. Don't fuck up performances for the most part on stage or on television or on other things that are generally live. When they do, it's glaringly obvious and it takes you out of that moment. But the indies are just, particularly in California, it's very interesting because Meltzer is here and he'll stick up for the Southern California independent scene like crazy enough to the point where he will argue with Jim Cornette about it on the air.
So in a way, you could think that early ECW might have wrote the
prototype for the independent wrestling scene.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of things right. They did some things wrong, obviously. Paying their wrestlers would have been one thing they should have done right.
Yeah, well, as great, I always say as great as a wrestling mind Paul Heyman is, he is just that bad as a businessman.
Yeah, yeah.
Because let's remember, the last ECW shows were still sold out. They were still selling tickets. It was just that Heyman was just so bad of a businessman that even sold out shows, they couldn't make enough money.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see how a lot of this stuff is going and how it makes you think about what's really going on with the whole wrestling thing. WWE is still the big shot in town.
Yeah.
It still is, period. I mean, you cannot deny with its reach and its
WWE's the big shot. ROH, I say, is the second, and GFW is fighting for the seat right
No,
there.
I would say New Japan is number 2.
I was thinking America, but yeah, worldwide, New Japan would definitely be
New Japan is number 2. And I would say, I would say just American wise too. In terms of people getting hyped and people, watching the shows and whatnot. I mean, if it wasn't number 2, it wouldn't have gotten as many people as they did in Long Beach.
Yeah,
it really wouldn't have. I mean, both shows were sold out. Shayna and Jess thought they weren't going to be able to get in.
Psst.
And they got in the second night somehow. I think I'm sure they have connections, but they were just as surprised to get into the second night of G2. I'm sorry, G1 as anyone else, because those shows were fucking sold out.
Yeah, they sold quickly.
So to me, Global Force Wrestling has a huge problem because from a televised wrestling perspective, Ring of Honor is doing better than them, and they're owned by some of the dirtiest people in the world, Sinclair Broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
See Jim Cornette, see Breaking Kayfabe Jim Cornette on how, all that shit. I have no idea how they survived from that. I get the feeling that, once again, as the late great George Carlin once said, I think in between Live Free or Die and Famous Potatoes, the truth lies. And we'd have to get Delirious' side of the story. But considering Adam Pearce corroborates a few of the things that Cornette said, I'm willing to think that Cornette's closer to Famous Potatoes. But Cornette pisses off a lot of people based on his experience, even though he is well respected for his experience. So what's the 6 and 1 1/2? What's the 6 and 1 1/2 a dozen of the other at this point?
Oh man.
Yeah, right, Lou?
I think I'm boring people. I'll shut up.
Well, one last question before we go off the air, and I know this is a topic that's worth an entire episode, but we'll try and make this a quickie and eventually turn this into an entire episode. Earlier, you mentioned the Bullet Club, and when you did, I couldn't think to make comparisons to the New World Order and how at one point
they've stolen everything from the New World Order. Keep going.
I'm just saying, at one point, both of them got overblown. Like, I know John said in the Cactus and Lou show it was Virgil that killed the New World Order. Lou knows the second Buff Bagwell came in, that was the end of the New World Order. And I think we just lost either Lou or Reed.
Lou.
Oh, ooh. Hopefully he comes back.
He'll come back.
Oh, dang it. Now I kind of needed him for this one. But yeah, is there a point where the Bullet Club is going to see the same fate of the New World Order?
I thought it was with Omega. But...
Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I kind of got booted there.
I was about to say, the quick question was, will the Bullet Club face the same fate as the New World Order? You know, getting so overblown that it eventually kills itself.
How many people are in? Well, yeah, they are, but here's a question. How many people are in the Bullet Club?
A million.
I want to, well, aside from all the marks.
You mean the Young Bucks?
No, all the marks that wear the T-shirts, that buy the T-shirts.
I meant the official Bullet Club member, because in that case,
I want to say about 10. I want to say about 10, including the Bucks, including the Bucks of overusing a move from Gentleman Chris Adams, which is something that Shawn Michaels will admit.
I think anyone would admit to that. Let's see. We have.
Well, you have the Young Bucks, you have Omega, you have Cody.
But here's the thing. Omega and the Young Bucks are considered a different part of the Bullet Club.
Like NWO Black and White, NWO Hollywood,
No,
NWO Wolfpack.
no. They're calling themselves the Elite, and no one else is in there. It's just those three. Cody's Bullet Club, Marty Scurll is Bullet Club. Gorillas of Destiny or Bullet Club. I know that there are a few others in there. The whole Too Sweet thing that they keep doing. Oh, it's a Bullet Club thing. It's a Bullet Club thing. Fucking Finn Balor and AJ and all them fucking stole it. And Nash was like, dude, go make money with it. I don't blame them. But when people keep going Too Sweet, it makes me want to find an NWO shirt at a Goodwill somewhere. And I go, this is 1996, motherfucker. This is when it started.
Okay, I found out there's actually 11 full-timers.
Oh, I was close.
And Jeff Jarrett is a part-timer.
I forgot Jeff Jarrett's part of the Bullet Club.
How did that motherfucker get in there?
I don't know.
Who knows? So plug time. Okay, if you're watching this on Twitch, follow my channel. I eventually do gaming eventually. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and the bell, because apparently we don't come up on YouTube anymore. I guess we're too controversial.
Really?
Yeah, if you look at our YouTube feed, we don't come up unless you hit the bell.
And also, considering what our content is, I'm not surprised. And it all comes from one guy.
Oh boy.
Well,
Also look at the channel for, I guess, future episodes of the Cactus and Blaze show.
yes, there
That-
will be future episodes.
That will
The question
probably get us even further buried on YouTube's algorithms.
Hey, let me tell you
Or have
something.
them
That
elevate to
what-
their own.
Let me tell you something though. That episode that me and John put up on Sunday, it's the most watched video on the channel.
I won't disagree with that, but if you want to watch more of that as well, also make sure to hit the bell so that the notifications come up and all that stuff. Well, go plug.
Oh, you want me to plug now? You can find me on the Tweeties at the YJG. You'll be able to see me complain about something, including my cat that has somehow gotten to this side of the house. He is an awesome cat. He's just a pain in the ass sometimes. You can see me on Twitch at twitch.tv/yellowjacketguy. I'm taking a little break from Bloodborne, and by a little break, I mean I've already done two things where I did Fire Pro Wrestling World, and I beat Castlevania, and I did a little tribute to the late Satoru Iwata by screaming and yelling at Balloon Fight for about an hour. And you can also catch me with my buddy Kazi on Casual Gaming Veterans on that channel, usually on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. And YouTube at The Yellow Jacket Guy, no spaces.
And I know I already talked about Lou's show. I don't know if he has no social media things to follow, and
No, I'm not a loser. I have better things to do.
for once, Reed also has the similar problem, so I have nothing to plug for him.
He's not wrong, you know that.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
No, he's not wrong.
Lou has better things to do, and Reed actually has a life.
Well, we all do, but we all have things we gotta do.
So
I'm actually working on a network right now with a friend of mine where we're going to
cool.
be doing a bunch of retro gaming. Because
Nice.
I'm so sick of seeing you people push your faggot MMORPGs where you kiss boys and pretend that that's girls, whatever the hell you homos to play those games do.
well, I'm actually working on a game. I actually was about to have it up and running, but
I'm a man. I play games like the Neo Geo and the fucking Dreamcast and the
No, I mean
SNES.
actually building a game using Unity.
So you're copying what I've been doing for the past 3 months.
Yes.
Pretty much, but it's with much less homosexual overtones.
Okay.
Hardly any.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Just only dealing with John then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
That's we're basically the name that we're going for. It's gonna be the DRS network. It stands for the dirty retro scoundrels, and we're just gonna be showing off all fucking playing all 16-bit games and shit like that.
Nice.
So I'll wait for the episode where you're screaming at Quackshot again.
It should be up within the next month or so. And since we're trying to cut things out here, and with WWE putting up so much new content on the network this week, I want to stick in a couple recommendations if you guys don't mind.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Especially for you, Reed.
Okay, what you got?
You need to get on there and go to the garbage that was WWE CW and watch this one saving grace match. I believe it's the July 11th episode from 2006. And it has a match where the Big Show defends the ECW championship against the Nature Boy Ric Flair. It's an Extreme Rules match with the Big Show and Ric Flair.
Oh right, I forgot how great that match was.
Mhm.
It was like one of the few hidden gems of WWE ECW during the latter half.
Okay, so it's under the vault.
Yeah.
And what's the date again?
I believe it's September. I believe it's July 11th, 2006. Worst comes to worst, when you go to the list for 2006, the picture for that episode is literally a picture of Ric Flair. Flair's promo and the match itself is just freaking amazing.
Okay, I found July 11th.
Mm-hmm. Where Flair's promo and the match itself is just fucking. I mean, it's an Extreme Rules match. It's no Flair Steamboat Classic. It's just one of the highlights of that abysmal mess
segment.
with WCW. Also, another match I just sat down. I just finished watching. It was very enjoyable to see Randy Orton get taught a fucking lesson. It's
against Mark Henry?
WCW match. No. This was at One Night Stand 2006. Kurt Angle versus Randy Orton.
Oh yeah, that was just a clinic.
Whoops his ass.
Yeah, that was a clinic.
I'm gonna say you mean the Kurt Angle show featuring Randy Orton?
Orton takes Orton to school that entire match. He literally just beats his ass from pillar to post. Constantly stretching him and stuff like that. It's very nice. I wish someone would do it to Orton now.
Man, I wish someone would do that Del Rio, but yeah. Anyway.
In a back alley.
Or in the prison.
Yeah, well,
last but certainly not least, one more match I need to toss out here for you guys to watch. Kind of more of a D recommendation. This is the point where you realize, okay, WWE CW is dead. And that was the night they were in the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Oh no!
And they decided to have the main event of the show be Big Show versus Batista. Do any of you remember that broadcast?
I remember the boos.
The fans shitting all over that match. You had freaking classic fucking guys who were big stars in the indies sitting in the fucking crowd during that match, getting up and leaving. It was so bad. It was an abortion. It was like watching an abortion on live television.
Oh boy. Eventually, me and Will are actually going to do our re-riffings. But
I was going to say, I was wondering when the hell we were going to do that.
Eventually, we got to sit down and get a schedule together. Probably next Wednesday is my next day off of absolutely doing jack and shit. So
that would have to be in the afternoon or something like that, because I got class at night, at least for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Well, next afternoon then. But yeah, until next week, fellas, take care. Spike your hair. Fuck the Bucks.
Fuck the Bucks.